Hey chat, how are you? So, mouse pads, yay or nay when it comes to a personal computer or a PC? I'm nay, because I had a mouse pad at work on my desktop, or as I like to say, a desktop. And the other day it was just, I was fidgeting with it, and I was like, what am I doing with this mouse pad? Back in the day when your mouse was on a roller ball and hair and detritus and grease and nastiness would accumulate on said ball, mouse pad makes sense. So you have a nice, clean, flat surface. And then you would take out the mouse ball and wash it in rubbing alcohol. But nowadays, it's all laser. It's freaking laser beams, man. So mousepad don't make no difference. It's just an encumbrance. Put it on a flat desk or a piece of glass. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So my car died again. And I jumped it again. And so I put up the battery maintainer, which Mr. Powell, my battery and chicken tendy consultant, suggested is $15. It's got two connectors. Red goes to the positive, black goes to the negative. Hey, I don't see race, but apparently these battery maintainers do. And then you plug it into the wall, and it just charges your battery at a slow rate. But I went from 60 to 80% the other day. After a few hours, I was like, okay, this ain't bad. But that was the last straw. My car dying within 24 hours of it running. And I was just like, okay, I think it's time to take it to the car stereo place. So I took it to a place in West Sac. And I told my sitch, I think it's the stereo. The stereo is hooked directly to the battery. I think it's draining on it. A phantom energy sucker. So can you take a look at it? And the guy was like, $85. We'll hook our diagnostic tool dealio up, and we'll try to find out what it is. And I said, can you do it for 75? And I do that, and I get like I contort my face, like I close one eye, and then the other eyeball I'm looking up at the ceiling, and I talk in a talk like this, so as not to offend and just to be gentle and lilting. And lo and behold, the guy was like, yeah, we can do it for 75, because I knew it was gonna be 5 minutes of work. Okay, so I was just like, let's stop kidding ourselves. And he said, yeah, the 75, 85, whatever. If there's a bigger problem, that money will go towards the bigger problem. Okay, whatever. And this was on Veterans Day. I went there by myself and just sat in their little showroom. And it is little, let me tell you. But they got to it right away. And after a few minutes, a gentleman came out and said, yeah, you have a short in your amp fuse. And I said, okay. I don't know what that means, but he said, yeah, it's drawing power, and so we could disconnect it, or we could get you a new amp. And I was like, new amp, $300 to $400, disconnect sub, a cool 75 out the dough. So I said, how about we just disconnect the amp, and with it, disconnect the subwoofer. So it hit me, because this amplifier and subwoofer has seen the highs and lows of my life, and it's always been there for me. Bumpin' Outcast, okay? So Fresh and So Clean is their best song. Get out of here with your Miss Jackson. I mean, sure, it's about domestic issues, but and relationship issues and the women's, but So Fresh and So Clean, undeniable. Do 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 do. And so I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of being tired. So just disconnect the amplifier and subwoofer, please. I felt like I was being circumcised, if you must know. And so couple minutes, 5-10 minutes, they were done. And so I said, the wires are okay. They're not going to like be scrounging around, flopping around, light on fire and burn me and my car. And am I going to die? And he said, nah, it's fine. I was like, all right. I opened my engine. I looked. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I have no idea what's going on. I just see an engine. So next day at work, my battery consultant, Mr. Powell, we're walking out. It's the end of the day. Walking to our car, the parking lot. I'm like, hey, Mr. Powell, can you check out my their work, what they did? And he said, sure. So popped the hood, and he said, whoa, 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 whoa. And there's two wires that were loose. The one that went to the positive and one that went to the negative. And I realized they couldn't pull them out because how the car stereo is wired, they wire it under your seat or through your door. It's a whole deal to get to the back where the subwoofer and amplifier are. So you can't just yank that stuff out. But he was like, whoa, whoa, these wires, this one needs to be zip tied to this. And this one, just pull it off completely. And I was like, why? And he said, because the end of these connectors is metal. And if it touches any metal on your engine, that's not good. That's going to be no bueno. And I was like, what the heck? They were loose. They were flailing. They weren't tied down. They did the bare freaking minimum. They did the 5-minute job, and then they jobbed me with the 5-minute job. Okay. So Mr. Powell said, zip tie this one to another like little hose thingy. And I know what I'm talking about. And then the other one still connected to the battery. Just unscrew the nut, or is it a bolt from the battery? And then take it out, screw the nut or bolt back on, and you can just discard that wire. So I was like, all right. So came home. Carolyn got me some zip ties. We had some somewhere in the house. I don't know where she found them. Thank goodness. So I zip tied one wire, and then the other one took a little wrenchy wrench, and I texted Mr. Powell and I said, if my car is off and I touch this metal wrench to the battery, I'm not gonna die, am I? And his reply was, you'll be fine, which wasn't very reassuring, to be perfectly honest and upfront. But I was like, meh, what have I got to lose? I am electrocuted. My car dies. My car's electrical system goes kaput. Yeah, I've had a good life. I've had a good time. It's time to taste some risks. So, a car off. Do a little wrenchy wrench to the nut/bolt, and I pull that tire off. The other one zip tied and screwed back on the nut/bolt. And Bob's your uncle. It started. Hallelujah. Ah! The heavens parted. I was very proud of myself. I'm glad I have a real man friend in Sir Mr. Powell. And yeah, that car stereo place, they suck. It was my fault for not asking more questions, and just kind of, because I've done that before. I just hang out in the garage. I'm like, oh, what are you doing here? And most businesses don't care, or they'll let me watch, or they'll explain stuff. But for whatever reason, I didn't do that on Monday. And do I regret it? Yeah. But they did. They did what they did. It was a solid 5 to 10 minutes of work for $75. But I still have the battery jumper. Still got the battery maintainer. I'll keep it. And they're both in my arsenal of tools. I'm a real man. And so yeah, that's that. But as far as my amp and my sub, will I get an amplifier? I'm not sure. But yeah, all those days hitting the discotheque, hitting the nightclub, going clubbing, that part of my life is over. So listen here. If you got a 40 ounce of Old English. I prefer St. Ides, but you can go Old English or Mickey's. Pop the top and pour a little liquor out for my amplifier and subwoofer and clubbing life. I want to alert everyone to a bargain, blue light special at Sprouts in Poway, California. It's a Tony suburb of San Diego, California. My mom got pastrami and roast beef on sale at the Sprouts Deli. And I was like, okay. And guess how much she paid? Normal price, $16.99 a pound. She paid $4.99 a pound for pastrami and roast beef. And she said, quote, tastes so much better when you know you got a bargain sale. I cannot agree more. I love when we when we get an expired something or other, day, 2-3 days expired, and I hop on the Walmart chat and they refund me, and then we still eat it because what's a couple days expired meat between friends? Tastes a little sweeter. And then she went on to say/text, your mom is a smart shopper. Well, okay, I didn't know we were talking in first person, Mom. It's like Larry Johnson in the Converse commercials in the 90s. But anyways, also at Sprouts Poway, organic garlic seed bread, normally $6.99 a loaf. My mom scored it for the ultra low price of $1.70 a loaf. Wow. I aspire to be her. I really do. And I am in some ways, just not extreme. She would get a documentary or a reality show. I would get cut at the audition process. I've been doing the Walden Farms coffee creamer. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. But it was at Grocery Outlet Bargain Market for $1.49 a bottle, normally $3 to $4 a bottle at your local supermarket. But it's horrible, but our coffee is horrible, so they kind of they go against each other in a death match, and they cut each other's horribleness by 20 to 40%, so it's not bad. Reading the Darius Rucker, the Hootie and the Blowfish lead singer, autobiography. It's good. It's fairly fascinating, and he hasn't lived a whole life. He's in his 50s, but coming to one-hit wonderdom, hit music, pop stardom, whatever you want to call it, in his late 20s, it's something to reckon with. But huge shocker, Darius Rucker, Hootie and the Blowfish, as a band, as a group. Yeah, they drink. They love to drink. And I always knew that. They're a college frat band or whatever. But they love drugs. I'm talking shrooms, cocaine, ecstasy, acid. They do it all in plentiful amounts. I would have never guessed that. I was figuring they're just a couple bros jamming down in some cargo shorts. But yeah, they love the hard drugs. He's kicked it for the most part. Lennox didn't order Panda, so I made him a deal. I said, Len, you want Panda? I will order it from my telephone, and then you got to ride your bicicleta, that's bicycle in Spanish, over to Panda. It's like less than 2 miles away. But yeah, so I don't want to be his DoorDash driver, but I will gladly order takeaway for him. But he hasn't taken me up on that offer. Still stands. Bowl with fried rice and orange chicken, which is $8-ish. I will gladly purchase it for him. All he has to do is bike his way over there. And it's really, he's really at a crossroads between desire and effort. Carolyn and I spent $37 at Costco the other day. And once we were rung up, we did the self-checkout because we didn't have a lot. I was like, $37, let's go back. Let's spend more. We got to get up to 70 or 80 to make it worth our while. Earnify works. Earnify in conjunction with Amazon Prime. Earnify is an app thingy, and they combine with Amazon Prime to save on your gasolina. And it worked. It works at the AM/PM over here, about a mile. That's what is right next to Panda. Same shopping center. But Earnify, you save 5 cents, and then Panda. Prime, you save 5 cents. So you save 10 cents a gallon. You're paying the cash price, which is fine, I guess. Because I rarely pay cash. Most of us rarely pay cash, right? Cash is king, y'all. But it is nice not having to whip out your wallet and your credit card and scan it and do all that. You just on your mobile smart cellular telephone, and you just tell it what pump you're at. It takes a few seconds, and then you start pumping. I'm headed to my mom's. I'm going to borrow her Beamer and go joyriding, aka hitting the Trader Joe's in Scripps Ranch. She's going to take me to Costco, get me a gift card and whatever my heart desires. And she's going to take me to Sammy's Woodfire Pizza. I'm going to eat some pizza pie and drink some beer, and we're going to talk about the old days. Looking forward to it. I don't like leaving my woman and my Lennox and Luna, my stepkids, my kids, and my cat, Frankie Blue. But it's time to go check in with Ma, see how she's doing, spend a little QT, quality time, one-on-one. And yeah, flying down there Friday, fly back up Sunday. Penguin finale wasn't great, but a solid ending to an excellent season. They're already talking about season 2. I don't want no season 2. I'm telling you, this is the best season of television of all time in history ever. And if you're calling that, Vince, that's recency bias. Yes, that's a real thing. I read someone who typed it onto a YouTube comment. Recency bias. Who cares? That's how I feel. And if it stops now and sticks the landing, best TV drama of all time, TV series. But if it keeps going, I don't know. Severance season 2 is about to come 3 years after season 1. And I'm just like, you had me. You had me 3 years ago. Where were you, Ben Stiller? I will give it a shot, but I see myself ducking out ASAP. I think that, you know what? One more thing. Speaking of Walmart, they give us expired stuff, and majority of the time we eat it, and we get it for free. But the last 3 times, they've thrown in a $10 off coupon code. They're like, refund you that, whatever it is, $8-ish. And here's a $10 off promo code in your email. I was like, okay, that sounds fabulous. Bet. But their customer service goes over, above, and beyond. So I'm chatting with a gal named Ivy. Could be a man. Who knows? Who knows where Ivy is? But she said she was going to do something. Little tap, tap, click, click, type, blah, 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 point, click, whatever. And I said, okay, thanks. And then she said, you're very much welcome. You deserve to be taken care of. Wow. I'm a married man, Ivy, but if you and my wife, Carolyn, want to tickle fight while wearing flowers in your hair and bow ties, I'd be game for that. Can you do that? Little tickle fight? But I think with chat, I've noticed that customer service goes way beyond just have a nice day, sir, because more pointing and clicking, more chatting with Ivy. And then at the end of our little our chat sesh, I said, thanks or whatever. And she replied, she said, with pleasure. My everyday goal is to make my customer happy and satisfied so that they will remember me not just as a chat representative, but also a friend who's willing to go the extra mile just to give them the right service they deserve. She went on to say, I completely believe that we are all settled today. Oh, this is the end of the chat. I couldn't thank you enough for your patience and understanding. I know this is only a 1 in a million opportunity for both of us to be on chat. Even so, I want to say stay safe and may all the good things in life be ever in your favor. If you need any assistance in the future, you can reach to us anytime through blah, 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 blah. And then finally she said, please enjoy the rest of the day and blessings to you and your family. So I'm just trying to go through life as an employee in my job, as a husband, as a father, as a cat dad. I just want to be like Ivy. Be like Ivy. Okay, I'm done. Take care. Brush your hair. Peace out.